Peace and prosperity be unto all who's listening and watching. It's your girl LaShaWright, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk to you guys about how sometimes the language that you speak, not only to yourself, but what you believe, the doubts that you may say or think, and the limitations you put on yourself prevent you from being your greatest self. Words like can't, I don't know, maybe, things like that keep you hindered. I don't really believe, or I don't have a talent. When you put yourself in a box and you limitate yourself, or I don't think I can, or I'm not very experienced, when you limit yourself to different things and say different things to yourself, not only is it a mindset, you got a mindset of doubt that you have to work on, but you have to also work on what you're saying to yourself. So not only do you need to work on the doubts that you believe, you need to work on how you're speaking to yourself as an individual and the things that you're saying with your mouth. So what are you saying to yourself right now in your life that involves growing, that prevents you from growing and being the greatest version you can be? What is hindering you from being the best you can be? Honestly, your words have more power than you know. And when you say things like I can't, or I don't believe, or I don't have creativity, no, you don't know what you have until you actually take the time to try, learn, do. But you have to figure out what it is you want, right? And the biggest thing with figuring out the mindset, right? The mindset, you want to challenge your mind of the things that it says. Sometimes the mind is really negative. But if you don't feed in positivity, feed in empowerment, feed in better words, like when something bad happens, a circumstance comes up, you don't say, oh, this is just, whatever, this is just crap. You don't just speak more negative into the situation. You analyze the situation. You find a solution. You say, hey, well, whether this situation, can I solve this problem, or is it something that is out of my control? You need to identify what it is. Is it something that you can solve? Is it something that is out of your control? You need to know the difference between things that you can solve and things that you can't solve. And also, you need to be able to identify the things that you're saying that are hindering you from you growing. Because your words alone, not only does it messes with your mind, the psychology of it affects your behavior, right? It affects your behavior. So if you say, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I am ugly, you really believe that. You really believe that. So when people do tell you, do compliment you, do say things that, do tell you these things, you don't believe it because it's your mindset. And everything that you reject or push away is a reflection of how negative you are to yourself, how traumatized you are within, how out of tune you are with yourself. So it really requires you to work on you. You need to work on your mindset, because if your emotions are weak, it's because your mind is weak. And if your mind is strong, your emotional intelligence is strong and it's on point. But you want to get to a place where you understand that words have power. When you say things like I can't, I don't know, and you don't take time to really understand why you're not understanding certain things, because you didn't ask the question. Ask the question. I personally don't ask a whole lot of questions, but when it comes to certain things, I will ask a lot of questions. When I really feel like I need to know more, or I didn't get an understanding about something, or maybe I perceive something in a negative light when I should have saw it differently, then I'll ask more questions. See, questions and being able to identify what it is that is going on with us keeps us in a great position of growth. Because if you're limiting yourself by the mindset that you think, then you are always in a box. So I want to make sure, guys, that you're not putting yourself in a box. Do not limit yourself to one specific narrative. You are beyond the box. You have to think like there is no box. I mean, you're beyond the box. You're infinite possibilities. There's no limitation for how great you can be or what you can become or what you can do. You can do anything you put your mind to as long as you believe strongly in the things that you desire and the things you want. So the biggest thing I can tell you guys is that you got to work on that inner love, that inner self-confidence, because if you don't, you end up defiling yourself. You end up, beating yourself up. You end up saying negative. And a lot of times why people reject things that are positive is because they're very toxic and negative to themselves. Now, sometimes that comes from trauma from childhood or past experience or just themselves. They don't see the beauty of themselves, or they don't see that what you see. So when they do receive positive enlightenment, they only hear the voice of themselves or the person that told them all the negative things that's been told to them. So be mindful when you're giving people compliments. You always want to empower people. You always want to speak life into people. But when it's somebody who feels that it's not true, I want you guys to understand that the rejection is not because of you. It's not because of what you said, but it's because of the things that they're saying about themselves or the things that somebody else told them for a long period of time. Because you have to be told something so many times for you not to believe something that is true about you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're enough. The reality of this, people don't see that because the inner voice doesn't allow them. The doubts doesn't allow them to believe, hey, I can do anything. I've never had a talent before, but I have the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? It's just coming to this understanding that just because you never had the experience doesn't mean you aren't great or that you're not creative or that you don't have talents. You may have hidden talents that you don't know about, but because you lack experience, lack knowledge, lack understanding of oneself, even, perceptions of other people or even yourself, and your mentality. When you lack understanding, it can get to a place where when you're when good things are coming your way, you're sometimes put a negative connotation around it, and it really is enlightenment. It really is light, and it really is power. But you have to do the inner work and work on your traumas and really come to the place of identifying what is those things that are affecting you, that keeps you in a lower mentality but making you a low emotional target, because your emotions attack you. They attack you. They control your mind. If your emotions control your mind, you have no control, right? So you want to be able to have a strong mental so that you can control your emotions. And that way you have not only an intellectual intelligence, but emotional intelligence as well. And you find balance and peace and all those things. And I just want to say, guys, I love you, and I hope you love this. And stick with me and follow my channel. And like, comment, subscribe, share. And let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see.